It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. So go the opening lines of the Charles Dickens classic A Tale of Two Cities, and it just about perfectly sums up the roller coaster ride that investors have been on for the past couple of decades. But the tale that I want to tell is the tale of two Titanics. You know, the Titanic was the pinnacle of human achievement at the time, but we had reached a level of hubris that caused one White Star employee to exclaim that not even God himself could sink this ship. As we all know, it did sink on its maiden voyage, and as it was sinking, it split into two. But long before the ship split into two, the people on that boat were split into two groups. As that iceberg gashed into the hull and caused a split that allowed water to start seeping in, and it came to a stop, alarm bells were ringing in the control room, orders were being shouted out, and now there were two groups of people. There were people in the know that knew that something was happening, and then there was the rest of the population on the ship. The people in the know were people like Captain Edward Smith and the ship's designer, Thomas Andrews, both of whom would go down with the ship, as well as people like the chairman and managing director of White Star, Bruce Ismay. These people knew that something was going on, and soon they started telling some of their friends and other people that became insiders. They had knowledge that was passed on from the people in the know. But the band played on and the party continued. Now, I woke up this morning thinking about this because I've spent a couple of months putting together a big presentation that has a whole bunch of information, and the alarm bells are ringing again. And you know, it's been years since I've been able to put together a presentation this comprehensive, because it's when you add up all of the different factors, all of the different alarm bells that are ringing, all of the different incoming information, that you start to get a glimpse of the future. And you know, back in 2006 and 2007, I spoke to about 70,000 people live during that time period at these big real estate wealth expos, telling them that there was some alarm bells going off. And now I've put together this presentation called Early Warning. And to me, the alarm bells are going off again. The real estate is back into a hyper bubble. Bonds are in the final stages of one of the longest bull markets in history. Individual stocks are incredibly overvalued, more overvalued today than at the peak in 1929. I put together my own index called the Market Fragility Index, which not only considers the size of the stock market as far as how big a bubble it's in, but the fragility of its foundation, and it's based on 3 different data sets. And then I show that there are indicators that are showing that another recession is just around the corner. Now, with the stimulus that we have had, with the tax cuts, the stimulus that causes, means that we probably have more time before the recession actually hits. We're now in the second longest economic expansion in history. It's probably going to become the longest economic expansion in history. But whether this goes for another 6 months, a year, or 2 years, it just means that we're picking up speed before we hit that iceberg. And then just last week, the Smart Money Flow Index, which has been a very good predictor of market changes in the past, hit a 7-year low. And so, you know, the thing about crises is that they come up on you slowly at first. Things don't change a lot. So the band plays on, the party continues. But those people that are in the know, the people that are the insiders, they're heading toward those lifeboats and they get safely away. And there will be people that are denying that the crash is happening even while it's happening. I've got this friend that I meet with once in a while, and I show him all this data and go, yeah, but stocks go up at 8% per year on the average, and I think I'm just going to stick it out. And they're denying that it's happening. I mean, this ship can't be sinking. My end just rose 200 feet. And the ship will sink. The crash will happen. And, you know, when the Titanic sunk, about 2/3 of all the passengers lost their life. Now, nobody's going to die in this crash, but there is going to be tremendous financial damage done to a bunch of people that need to retire soon. And so there's going for most people, it's going to be the worst of times. But for the precious metals investor, it might just be the best of times. Thank you very much for watching. If you got anything from this, please like it, share it, and look for our presentation, The Early Warning System. Thank you very much.